Yo, it's your boy Wes the Tech here to bring you another one of my personal favorite tech tips to help you as an artist grow in your craft. Now today we're going to go over, should you use Horus Music for music distribution, all right? So if you're a recording artist who's possibly looking into using Horus Music as your main music distributor, then this is the perfect video for you, because in this video, I'm going to go over everything that you need to know about Horus Music and whether it's actually going to be the right fit for you or not when it comes to music distribution, all right? So first and foremost, when it comes to Horus Music, I feel like I have to let you guys know that it is a UK-based company, all right? Now, this isn't really a big issue, but there are some things that you need to consider, especially when it comes to prices, if you're thinking about using this music distribution company as your music distributor if you're not in the UK. So if you're in the US and you're thinking about using Horus Music, there are some things you need to consider price-wise, which I will go over in a little bit, all right? But I first wanted to go over really the things that stood out to me the most, the biggest pros that I saw when it comes to Horus Music, all right? I want to go over those pros first, and then I can go over the prices and everything. So first and foremost, the thing that stood out to me the most about Horus Music, I mean, literally the first thing that stood out to me was that you are actually able to keep 100% of your YouTube content ID royalties, all right? Now, honestly, straight up, I did not think that this was even possible for any music distribution company, because literally for every other music distribution company that I have looked into up until this company, there has always been an 80-20 split, meaning that you keep 80% and they keep 20%. This is actually the first music distribution company that I have found that actually lets you keep 100% of your YouTube content ID. I honestly didn't even think that a company like this existed, because it's been across the board with like every other company up until this point, that 80-20 split, which in my perspective, I thought that maybe it was a YouTube thing because everyone had that same cut, that same percentage of the 80-20. But for some reason, Horus Music lets you keep 100% of the YouTube content ID royalties, which is why that was the first thing and probably the most glaring thing that I noticed that makes it supremely different from every other music distribution company. So that definitely is a big deal, all right? Now, the second thing that I noticed that makes Horus Music different from other music distribution companies is that they actually can also distribute your music to Asia and China as well, all right? Now, this is also one of those things that it's a big deal because not a lot of music distribution companies can do that. There are some others, so I'm not gonna say that Horus Music is the only one who actually do this, but they are one of the only ones that actually distribute to certain countries like India, Japan, and China. A lot of other music distribution companies don't do that, but there are some out there that do. But again, this is one of those other things that I noticed that kind of really sets Horus apart from most of the other music distribution companies out there, all right? So if you're looking to distribute your music to those countries, or if you live in those countries, Horus Music is definitely a great option for you, all right? Now, the third thing that I noticed that Horus Music offers that other distribution companies don't offer is physical music distributions like CD Baby, and music video distributions like Symphonic or DistroVid, all right? So all in-house, they also do offer music video distributions, and they can offer, if you're looking into, selling physical copies as well. I believe it's through Amazon specifically. I don't think they send it out to you specifically like CD Baby does, all right? So you can sell them yourself, but it is, I think, an Amazon-based type of system that they have going that you can actually sell physical copies, all right? So that was the third biggest thing that I noticed that stood out to Horus Music that makes Horus different from other music distribution companies, all right? But when it comes to choosing music distribution companies, it typically falls under one thing, right? And that's the prices. Everyone wants to know the prices and where the prices compare to other music distribution companies, especially when you're dealing with similar services. When you're dealing with similar services, prices is really the only thing that matters, all right? So that's what I'm gonna go into next. Now, before I jump into that, I do wanna say that you keep 100% of your streaming royalties. I feel like I just need to get that out the way first. because I didn't mention it before, most of the other distribution companies, you get to keep 100% of your royalties with most of their plans as well. So that goes without saying, but I felt the need to just say, just in case you were wondering that, all right? So to jump right into it, when it comes to Horus Music, they have two different plan types. They have the annual subscription plan, which essentially is like DistroKid and TuneCore, where you could just pay an annual fee, right? And you could distribute your music unlimitedly, all right? Now, when it comes to the pricing of that, I feel like I have to go on a tangent again, all right? When it comes to Horus Music, they actually don't deal with US dollars. They actually deal with UK pounds, all right? So if you're not familiar with currency from other countries, I gotta let you guys know that prices vary when you're dealing with currencies from different countries, all right? So the price today may not be the price tomorrow because you're dealing with a different currency. Now, of course, in its own country, it's always gonna stay the same unless they actually change the prices. But when you're looking at the translated price to another country, that can vary, all right? So with that being said, the price that I'm gonna show you guys is just the price that it was when I actually did this video. It could be a few dollars more, it could be a few dollars less at this point, all right? But when it comes to Horus Music, when you're doing the annual subscription plan, you're looking at 20 pounds. Again, not $20, 20 pounds, which is the equivalent of $24 and some change when you're looking at the US dollar equivalent. But like I said before, this $24 may be 25 now. It could be 23. It could be a couple of cents more, a couple of cents less. That's how it varies, all right? So don't think that this price is the exact price. The only thing that's exact about these two prices is that it's going to be 20 pounds. That is going to stay unless, like I said, the company changed their prices. But the US equivalent of that can definitely vary, all right? So that's the pricing on the annual plan. And that's one of those things that I was letting you know earlier about that you need to consider, especially if you're a US-based artist who is thinking about using Horus, all right? If you're a UK-based artist, this is perfect for you. You don't got to deal with any of this. This might be the perfect fit for you. But if you're an artist in the US, this is something that you have to consider. That price isn't always going to stay the same, all right? Now, the second type of plans that they offer is the pay per release plans like TuneCore, like CD Baby as well, where you don't pay annual fee, you pay every time you want to release something, all right? And they have a few different packages when it comes to those type of music distributions. So what I did was I literally just brought up a screenshot of their actual page where they show you these prices, all right, and these different plans, but I also added what the US price is right under them. So the first one is the singles price, all right? Now the single price isn't actually just one single. The single price is actually up to 3 singles at once, which is really, really cool, all right? And that's, as you can see, is $25, but it's a little bit more when you're dealing with, or I'm sorry, not $25, 25 pounds, but when you're dealing with US dollars, it's actually a little bit more, right? Then you have the EP, which is the EP package, which is 35 pounds. Again, a little bit more when you're talking about US dollars, all right? But the EP package is dealing with basically 6 songs that totals less than 30 minutes, all right? But you can upload an EP up to 6 tracks. But like I said, those 6 tracks combined cannot be longer than 30 minutes. And then the last option is, of course, the album package. And the album package is 7 tracks or more, all right? Or if you have, let's say, 6 or 5 tracks that's longer than 30 minutes, then you would have to get that album package, all right? And that one's $45. As you can see, the US price is right under, I believe, 52, all right? But those are the different prices that you're going to be dealing with if you're trying to do the pay per release option, all right? Now, if you're actually comparing these prices to prices of, let's say, CD Baby, that pay per release CD Baby is much cheaper, all right? Because even if you take the singles, yeah, you can do 3 tracks. But if you take that $25, or in the US it's really $30, and you divide that by 3, you're looking at basically $10 per track. CD Baby is only $5 per track. So something like CD Baby or TuneCore's pay per release is actually cheaper than Horus Music. But like I said, if you're in the UK, Horus Music may still be a better fit for you, all right? Financially speaking, because it's only 25 pounds for you versus us, it'll actually be $30, all right? But I don't know how pounds actually, man out when it comes to, if that value is worth it, But either way, those are the different prices when it comes to the pay per release, all right? So those are ultimately, the important things that you need to know about Horus music. Now, there is two additional things that I feel like I must mention, all right? And unfortunately, these are two cons that I noticed, in my research when it comes to Horus music. So I feel like I absolutely have to mention both of these things, all right? The first thing is when it comes to actually getting or removing your music from streaming services. So if by chance you distributed your music through Horus and you wanted to take your music off of Horus, right? There actually is a fee to do that. And that fee is in fact £100. All right. Now, £100, currently speaking, is the equivalent of $120. All right. So you're actually dealing with a quite big amount if you decided to remove your song off of the streaming services. All right. This is a major penalty that you really don't get with any other distribution company. So this is definitely a con that you definitely have to consider if you think about Horus music. All right. Now, of course, if you want to stay with them forever, whatever the case may be, you don't got to pay that $100. But if you, or $120, £100. But if you ever did decide to remove your music, this would be the penalty, which is actually pretty big, all right? Now, the second con that I also noticed that would be a problem for some people is the payouts, all right? Now, the only way that you could actually get your payouts, if you're not UK based, is through Western Union. Meaning that if you're in the US or any other place, you got to get your payouts through Western Union, which of course comes with its own fees and things like that. But if you're in the UK, this isn't a con at all. You don't even have to worry about this part of it. This con only pertains to those of you who actually aren't in the UK, all right? But those are really the two cons that you have to deal with, that you have to really strongly consider when it comes to Horus music. Outside of that, everything else seems pretty good. But like I said before, all in all speaking, they're not the best price plan, but they're also not the most expensive. They're closer to their prices is closer to the cheaper plans or the better plans than the worst plans. All right. So they're somewhere in the middle when it comes to music distribution. But like I said, if you're a UK artist, it may still be the perfect fit for you overall. All right. Because what I've noticed that sometimes it's a lot more difficult to deal with a music distribution company that isn't based in your country. All right. With that, a great example of that is Ditto Music. All right. Ditto Music is also UK based, and a lot of US artists are having major issues with Ditto when it comes to payouts. I don't know if that has to do with, exchanging money or changing pounds to US currency. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely a payout problem when it comes to Ditto Music, actually paying to US artists, all right? I don't know if that's the case for Horus music, so I'm not trying to make a comparison between the two or saying that that's something that you have to deal with both, but it is something to consider out there overall when you're dealing with a distributor that's outside of your country, all right? But all in all, that's pretty much it. That's all that Horus music has to offer. Like I said, it's not a bad deal, but it isn't the best deal. You really have to make the decision on whether it's going to be the best fit for you, all right? But either way, if you have any additional questions in regards to Horus music or any other music distribution companies out there, feel free to leave comments in the comment section below. I love answering questions from other artists because I'm here to help you as an independent artist. Also, if you're looking into at some point quitting your 9-to-5 job and doing music full time, then I definitely urge you to grab my ebook over here. It's the 13 steps to jumpstart your own music career. All right. It's the steps that I took to do music full time. I do music full time and I've been doing it for a few years. All right. And it's the same steps that I took to be able to leave my 9-to-5. All right. So if you really want to leave that 9-to-5 and get paid to do music full time, definitely grab this ebook and I'll show you the way, all right? But either way, that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, leave comments in the comment section below in regards to anything. It doesn't just have to pertain to Horus music. It could be about anything. I'm here to help you guys out, all right? But either way, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.